Welcome to this fireside chat. I'm Pablo Monti. I work at BingX, so I'm pleased to welcome all here to the BingX Labs stage. The idea is to discuss a little bit about greatness, leadership, teamwork, and probably what's the best option to talk about this than a football legend and a global female leader. I understand that probably I can introduce themselves, but the interest thing for you is to listen from themselves. So, since you are in my left, please introduce yourself, John.
Ladies first.
Okay, ladies first.
Okay. My name is Vivien Lin. I'm the Chief Product Officer at BingX and also head of BingX Labs. This is we launched BingX Lab for 1 year, and finally we have our own stage in TOKEN2049 this year.
Thank you for that. John.
Hi guys, good morning or good afternoon, should I say. Thank you for having me, and a big thank you to BingX. I'm John Terry, ex-Chelsea and England captain, and hopefully I can share some insight into my time at Chelsea today.
Okay, he missed that he won many Premier Leagues, the Champions League. He played 2 World Cups, but it's okay. One thing that I wanted to start. Did you watch last night match at 3 a.m. here, Chelsea Benfica?
I didn't watch it. I was fast asleep and jet lagged last night.
But Chelsea
delighted with the result, yeah. We did win last night.
It's good.
Very good. I'm happy today.
And you had Jose Mourinho back at Stamford Bridge. Nice.
Very good. The best manager I've ever experienced in my life.
That's a headline. Some applause. Woo! Perfect. So again, John, I will start with you, John. For achieving what you achieved, it's of course needed to have a winning mindset. Is it something that you are born with, or is something that you can train? I mean, we use the motto "train on greatness." Can it be trained, or it's something that comes with you?
I think it can be both. I've seen from both sides as well. I think your upbringing as a child has a lot to do with that, personally for me. But also I think you have a fixed mindset of believing in what you're doing. But on the flip side of that, there's a growth mindset and understanding that when you surround yourself with better people, better players in my sport, you can only learn and improve in that space as well. So I think on all levels, I think you can certainly learn. But I do think your upbringing as a child has a big part to play in that.
Okay, fair enough. And in your case, Vivi, I mean, you are one of the most influential women in Web3, honestly. And what do you think it takes in terms of this always changing industry to have that winning mindset and to achieve success in Web3 space?
Okay, well, I'm trying to work very hard to influence more people. Okay, so winning mindset. Talking about this, I think since we're doing products, so it's always our motivation for every product manager to build something really, really cool and really, really like helpful to present to our user, our community. That is, I think, the driver and the ultimate motivator for like people like us making a product. So unlike football game or unlike the sports, you have a very particular winning moment that can decide or define whether you did a good job. For us, it takes a relatively long time to have your product produced and go live online for people to use and collect feedback and so on. So during the process, we celebrate almost every small wins to like encourage ourselves, say, hey, you did a very good job, continue doing. Until one day we finally find, okay, wow, we made something really, really fantastic. I would like to raise our copy trading as a very good example. At that time, we're thinking about, it's back in 2019, roughly around that time. We're thinking about the industry is so hard to enter because of the jargons, terminologies, technical barriers. So our very motivation is that, hey, we want to do something really, really cool to embrace, to welcome the normal people to trade, to get to know more about blockchain technology. That is the inspiration or the spark of how we start our business. We do a lot of research and then we find out, okay, maybe copy trading is a good business model, and then we try step by step. And after I think roughly 6 months, in the beginning, we have no feedbacks. Nobody knows what we are doing, but we continue doing to a level that we feel, well, it's a good feature that I want to use, our team want to use. Then after 6 months, all of a sudden, the entire crypto trading world knows BingX is making something fantastic, and we see a lot of user inflow, money inflow, capital inflow to our platform. That is, this is the moment is fantastic, very beautiful, that we feel, okay, all those hard work, all those like overtime are worth it.
You mentioned something that I'm going to add a question to John, because what you said and something we discussed yesterday, because in football, everyone sticks to the trophy, the final winning moment, but you played and trained your whole life. I mean, you started at Chelsea with 14, you started before playing, and it takes years of preparation and training to get that final winning moment. That's something that you can, in some situation, compare with this industry. I mean, it's the winning moment had a lot of years of preparation and training.
Yeah, mine started from the age of 14 at Chelsea, the hard work. A lot of people don't see that. They see the trophy being lifted for us in the football world at the end of the season. They don't see the kind of the injuries, the ups and downs that goes along with that as well. There's a lot of roles that play an important part in that as well. And I referenced yesterday when we spoke about this, the importance of the staff as well. And it's the players, it's the 11 players on the pitch that a lot of people see, but there's staff that play a huge part in that as well, to the kit men, to the kitchen staff, to the guys cleaning the building, to Roman right at the very top, making sure that we've got the best facilities and the best possibility to go and win the league or win the Champions League and all of that. So it's an important role for me as captain of the football club to make sure that the players are first and foremost the most important. So when they're going on the pitch, we're in the right space and we know exactly what we're doing. But it's also rewarding the people around you as well. And I say that in terms of the staff and the canteen staff, like everyone loves to be told when they're doing well, but also like we need to be honest in this space as well. To lead teams or to lead people, you have to sometimes upset people and you have to push and drive people to be better as well. Now, how you do that and how you understand that is very important. And a role I had as a leader and a captain at Chelsea was to understand those players that really liked being told when they were good and also when they were bad, but in a positive way as well. So understanding the team around you is very important. So there's a lot of hard work that goes in that, many years and a long time on the training field that are very important in my success as well.
And I mean, sports is usually used for business and management because you can see some similarities. And you mentioned about being a captain. I mean, you're the captain, and here are a lot of C-level or people that's managing their companies, and what it takes from a leader to be followed from their teammates or the team that they have, mostly during tough times.
I think the most important thing for a leader in sport or in football is to be the person that is doing all of the correct stuff. So for me, the real basics in life, so I'm working in the academy with the younger players at the moment, like being on time is really important to me. And if you're in at 10 o'clock, get in at 9 o'clock. Make sure you're doing all the gym work, all the preparation you can. So when 10 o'clock arrives or 10:30 arrives that you're training, you're ready to go for training. And it's all of those real basics that I think are really important in the world of sport, but also transfer over to the business side as well. And I think in football, you have to stay fully fit, because when you're demanding from the group of players that are surrounding you, you need to make sure that you're robust, you're in a physical condition, that you're the one on the training field every day. And also, we had numerous players year after year arrive at Chelsea. Now, I stayed at Chelsea for over 20 years. Now, when people arrived at Chelsea, understanding the business or what Chelsea Football Club means to me and the supporters was very important. So day one, if you arrive, Pablo, tomorrow at Chelsea and I'm the captain, I'm going to make sure you understand what those London derbies mean against Tottenham, against Arsenal, against West Ham, the rivalry with Man United and Arsenal, and how much it means to our supporters. And also, I was the one with the armband and was the captain at Chelsea, but I had Frank, who was a fantastic leader in a different way. So we have different ways of leading as well. Frank was very vocal and very well spoken in the dressing room. I was the person on the pitch driving the training ground, driving the tempo of the training sessions. And then above that, you have the manager. I spoke about Mourinho. He was the one really pushing us in a good way, sometimes not always good, but in a positive way. And above him, you have the owner making sure that we're bringing the elite players in to raise everyone's level as well. And I spoke about it earlier. When you surround yourself with bigger and better people, you can only learn and get better.
I'm sure if I were in that team, it's impossible not to follow you three because it's complicated. I would be afraid a little bit of you three. Maybe you are also a leader of what you do. I mean, you are the chief product officer at BingX. You are the head of BingX Labs. If you have to define your leadership and tell the audience what it takes for you to be followed from your team to achieve what you achieve.
Well, I totally agree with what John just said. Like my style is like I lead with example. Like I will trying to do like I set an example for the team. For example, yeah, I trying to have a better estimate of what exactly workload, what exactly the skill need to put on the table for a product or for the process to go smoothly. So being able to have that understanding and that knowledge to have a precise judgment, I have to like always learning new things, be very open-minded. That is first thing. And second, after lead with example, I think I want to build a very supportive working environment for my team. So they feel be empowered, just as the BingX logo says. We want to be empower our user, empower our trader, but internally we want to empower our staff, our colleague, to give them a full authorization and let them own their decision and be responsible for the consequence, for the results. Then feel motivated by having the authorization, having the ownership. And also at the same time, I need to create a environment that they feel connected. They know they will have the relevant resources from me, or at least I can guide them through sometimes the darkness, sometimes the uncertainties. They feel supported. It's very important. But I think at BingX we have a very, very good culture in terms of teamwork, in terms of how we can work together. We have a very disciplined but welcoming and very friendly culture to allow all those teamwork partnership happen. This is also why partners, internal and external, really likes to work with BingX.
Nice. And you mentioned the word discipline, and I understand discipline is really crucial. I mean, you have hobbies outside crypto and AI, and for those that are managing companies, I also want you to take some things. But do you take that discipline into the other things that you do, and you believe that having other activities besides your work help you to be disciplined and achieve on the job?
Yes. I'm pursuing my first master degree, of course, part-time. My bachelor in finance, and I got computer science. I got English literature. Then I got applied psychology. Now I'm pursuing art business. I like to approach a new area by taking degrees because I deeply believe that we have to develop, we have to grasp like better big picture such that we can broaden our width, deepen our understanding, and in a day we can connect all the dots, all those information to make it a structured way. It's more like a coding. You need a top-down architecture to allow high performance and to allow scalability. And I think all this knowledge, structured knowledge, will turn my brain into a kind of things that when information coming, I know how to understand them, I know how to evaluate them, and eventually I know how to use them in practice This is very important. And I told my team too, learn things outside the work, learn the advanced technology, get to know what the new generation think about. Because like in crypto side, Gen Z, they have 45% of total BTC like outstanding, the volume. So be able to understand what the new generation think about, be able to understand what institutional traders think about is really important to divide something useful, helpful, and really bring value to the table.
In crypto, we say that for investors, discipline is really crucial, and in sports is even more. You mentioned about those moments in where you as a captain kept the discipline or helped everyone to be disciplined. And I wanted to ask you about those moments, maybe tough moments in Chelsea, in which discipline was the key to get off that bad moment and achieve, and how you did it.
Yeah, discipline I refer to the Champions League in 2012. So if there's any Chelsea fans or football fans who would understand what that means to be in the football club. So looking at the Champions League, I think it's firstly the most difficult trophy to win in football. And in 2005-06, we beat Barcelona in the quarterfinal. We should have gone through and maybe won it that year. In 2008, I missed a penalty in the final in Moscow. 2009-10, when we played Barcelona at Stamford Bridge, we should have had 5 penalties. We won't go there. We'll leave that for another time. Iniesta scores in the last minute. And as a player, you're getting older. You're realizing that at the age of 36, 37, your body's kind of going to say no at some point. We had probably the worst group of players, and I say that in terms of the worst group of players we had at Chelsea. We're still an unbelievable team, don't get me wrong. But we really had to stay disciplined in that. So we was a little bit older, so we had to manage ourselves in the right and correct way. But that desire to win the Champions League never left us. And those moments of hurt, which I just spoke about, it kind of stayed with us right till the very end. So in 2012, we beat Bayern Munich in the final with players that were 35, 34, 36. We had a player that made his debut in the final in the Champions League in Ryan Bertrand. Bayern Munich were by far the favourites going in. But that discipline going into that and the build up to that as a group of players and the experience we had in the group was key to that. So I think discipline in sport or business is vital. I think you touched on something a minute ago. I think you have to be obsessed with what you do. With football, I was obsessed with winning. Like even now, I'm picturing Man United win the league in 09, in 08, 09. It leaves me really frustrated. As a footballer, I know my lifespan is going to be 36, 37 years of age. My career is finished. So you have to be obsessed with what you're doing. And the players that we had at Chelsea were obsessed with winning. And like I said, when people arrive at Chelsea or whether it's BingX, when you come into that company, you really have to understand what it means and be obsessed by that.
Perfect. And I will connect with some what you said about the final moments of your career. I mean, you led a team on the pitch. Now you lead teams off the pitch. What's the importance of teamwork? Because we talk about leadership, we talk about many things, but teamwork is important from the leader side to achieve success also.
Teamwork is vital. And like I say, I was the one with the armband. So you see me a lot of the time with the trophy at the front of all of that. Behind that, there's a layer, and behind that, there's another layer, and behind that, there's a further layer, which is the staff that I spoke about. So teamwork is vital. Football's a sport where you can't do it on your own, unless you have Lionel Messi in your team, then maybe. But football, you have to surround yourself with players and leaders. And you spoke about it, Vivien, as well, where I was the captain, but also Frank and Didier and Peter Cech had their voice as well. And as captain, you need to understand as well when to allow that and when to give your voice and opinion as well, but also to feel what's in the room. So just because people are 19 and 20 doesn't mean to say they haven't got a voice or haven't got an opinion. They're going to have an intelligent insight into the world and how they look at it, because they're seeing it from a younger generation, which is important for us to take on board as well. So teamwork is key in all aspects. And I think the biggest thing in sport or in business, that when the team win, for me, on the football pitch as captain, I made sure that we all won. And I say that because when the players received the bonus, I made sure that the kitchen staff, the guys cleaning the kit, we all got a little bonus. So when we won, you all felt that winning feeling. When we lost, you have to feel that pain as well for the shirt and the badge. But when you win, I think it's important you all win together now. If that's a big party and everyone goes out and celebrates together, fantastic. We've done that many a times. If it's a financial bonus, that's also fine as well. And we had a really good balance of how we done things at Chelsea.
I will ask for my bonus later. She's there. And Vivi, also the same for you. I mean, in business, it's practically the same. And we talk about leadership before. We talk about the discipline that you need as a leader to have with your team. But the teamwork is crucial. I mean, in your case, mostly, what's the importance of that teamwork to achieve what you are achieving at BingX?
Well, teamwork in my work, it's about having a very supporting environment to welcome the talent from different aspects to work together, to sit together, to discuss a difficult problem together. For example, in our team, the oldest guy is about like 40 something. The youngest one is only 21.
That's not old. 40 is not old. You know that.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Me too, please.
Sorry. Sincere apology. But yeah, I mean, the most experienced one is 40 something.
That's better.
That's better.
Sorry. They bring totally different aspects. For like myself, I'm 30 something. I spent almost 10 years in financial industry, TradeFi. What I see a product, I always say if it is scalable, whether it is high performance, whether it is suitable for institutional adoption. But someone, the 21 little boy, come to say, hey, Vivi, you just cannot design it that way because our generation, we just don't look at that. You need to do something else. We need something pop out. We need to react very, very quick. Those kind of feature. We see the spark of the idea or this kind of discussion every day. Everyone trying to bring their own aspects of the word, their perspective of what define a good product on the table. Then we have the material to discuss what exactly the feature we want, what exactly our target group, target audience is. That is super important. And also this is why we try every effort to introduce our AI technology into play, is because we find it's almost impossible to process like that much volume of data from the user to help us decide what are the features we want. We have to use a nuclear weapon. We have to use AI to assist in the decision process and product designing process. So there's one guy in my team say, hey, Vivi, we really need to deploy AI. And that was when ChatGPT launched. I think the second that they asserted, hey, Vivi, we really need to do that. And, at that time, it's a really difficult decision because we calculate all the extra server we need to deploy for employ AI kind of strategy, and we think about what kind of talent we need to hire in order to deploy our AI strategy. Actually, that is a hard decision, but I'm really grateful that we made that decision that early, such that we are quite ahead of the game. Like stand at this moment, say, hey, we are the first platform that provides AI-related solution in crypto. Yeah.
I don't know if you try it. I recommend you to do it because BingX AI is really nice. I use it a lot to check and to gain time because it's a game changer in terms of time consumption for the user. And Vivi, to start closing up, again, in the audience, there are people that's managing companies and might find it interesting. What's your take on all that or your advice for them on everything that we touch? I mean, leadership, discipline, greatness. What would you say to them to recommend them to apply on their job?
Be always open-minded. As you're getting more senior, actually, it's very difficult for senior guys to be really open-minded and learn something new. Not every day, maybe every year at least. then you will find you have the right conversation with the younger generation. You will be at the front of the industry you are working in.
And John, same to you, but I mean, you've been on the pitch many years. Now you're not on the other side, on a different side, but you lived with that many years with your coach. What's your recommendation, your suggestion for the leaders here to apply, having in mind all this, greatness, teamwork, and discipline?
Well, I think taking into account, I'm working in the academy at Chelsea with the 16 to 21-year-olds, so a different generation to myself. I see that there's probably not as many leaders within the academy. They like direction. They like to be told. Again, I think when you're the senior guy or you're leading or the manager in that group, it's important to understand the people in the room. So sometimes you're going to be in a room with people that want to be told what to do, and then you have to show by example of how to do that. There's other times in the room as well where there's a lot of experience in the room, and you have to tap into that as well. And I think the best leaders understand when to dip into that or when to then stand at the front and take full responsibility and lead right from the very top. And I think understanding what's in the room is the most important for me.
Nice. And about that, the new generations, that's probably another topic, leading new generations. And Vivi, he's mentioning this of lacking of new leaders, that the young generations like to be told. And do you experience the same when you face your team and the young coders and young fellas?
Like in my job, because our company is really, really flat. So people just very free to talk about what they are really interested. And actually, I think the younger generation, they have a quite clear goal about what they want to get out of the job, what kind of experience or knowledge they want to achieve for every job. I feel because we have a very high standard when we hire people, so we're trying to hire the ambitious people, and they can bear the responsibility as well. So I feel I'm very thankful to my team that they are very self-motivated person and they lead themselves. I have quite confident that they will, in later of their career, they will become great leader in the industry.
Nice. Well, we are coming to an end. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here, a privilege. So please, a round of applause